President Trump saying he knows Iran is responsible for a recent series of tanker attacks, and his Defense Department providing what it says is video evidence. Correspondent Kevin Corke is at the White House to show us tonight. Good evening, Kevin.
Evening, Brett. The video is, if nothing else, compelling. That is, if what it purports to show is accurate, that the Iranians are in fact behind a series of attacks on vessels in the region. And that's precisely what the president believes.
Happy birthday to you.
Very nice.
A happy 73rd birthday serenade for President Trump at the White House today. But while his attention in the Rose Garden was trained on domestic health care policy, earlier he took square aim at a familiar international storyline, Iran's destabilizing behavior.
Well, Iran did do it, and you know they did it because you saw the boat. I guess one of the mines didn't explode, and it's probably got essentially Iran written all over it.
What Iran did, the president surmised, was attack oil tankers in the Gulf of Oman this week. Evidence by U.S. Navy footage purportedly showing Iranian vessels attempting to remove unexploded ordnance from a tanker.
That was them, and they didn't want the evidence left behind. I guess they don't know that we have things that we can detect in the dark that work very well.
Not surprisingly, the Iranians rejected the Americans' assertion. Iranian Foreign Minister Javad Zarif said this was proof of the U.S.'s, quote, Plan B, sabotage diplomacy. The incident comes a month after 4 oil tankers were damaged in attacks that the Trump administration blamed on Iran. Proof, said the president today, of a faltering and increasingly desperate regime.
We had 14 different sites of conflict. They were in charge of every single place, and they really are. They're a nation of terror. And they've changed a lot since I've been president.
While some have suggested continued Iranian aggression could hasten the drumbeat toward war, President Trump told Fox News that thanks to his outreach toward Kim Jong-un, the U.S. averted a war with North Korea.
You know, the papers couldn't believe when we had the first meeting. They couldn't believe when we had the second. You know, we never had meetings. We're going to end up in war. If I wasn't president, you would right now be in a major war with North Korea.
Still, a war of another kind. A trade war with China continues to worry investors across the globe. And with the G20 meetings in Japan set for later this month, the president today showed little interest in changing course to make a deal with Beijing.
It doesn't matter if he shows up good, if he doesn't. In the meantime, we're taking in billions of dollars a month, Brian, from China. Well, we're going to see. Eventually, they're going to make a deal because they're going to have to.
Brett, the president also said there's no way he's going to fire Kellyanne Conway, counselor to the president, despite a recommendation from a government watchdog group which said that she's been a repeated violator of the Hatch Act. The president said the Office of Special Counsel is simply trying to take away her right to free speech.